So today is the 17th of November, Wednesday, and that's 2 days after I got my diagnosis. And I'm planning on trying to keep as much day to day, making a video, putting them all together and putting them out once a week. Um, I'm still very much all over the place. I'm just on an even keel at the minute because I took the diazepam that my GP gave, obviously, because I was in tremendous amounts of shock and just a jittering mess, and I couldn't stop shaking and stuff. And it does help, not for long. It gives me maybe 10 minutes to half an hour of being numbed to the point where I'm not crying all the time. Um, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's messaged me. I have had hundreds of messages of support and well wishes and good vibes, and it has meant so much to me. Even people that don't even know me, they've, they don't know who I am, never watched a stream, have like reached out just to be really nice about everything. Um, I spoke to my Macmillan fucking speak Alana, see some things never change. My Macmillan nurse today because I was concerned about I need my second COVID injection, and they didn't know whether there was going to be downtime and whether that would hamper any treatment that's coming up. And she said that if it's chemotherapy they're giving me, then it'll not matter, they'll want that. If it's surgery, then that's just something different. But to get it, so I need to go on Saturday morning and have that done. Um, my brain is still very all over the place. I tried last night to watch Halloween Kills with my family, and I don't have the concentration in me to like be tuned into anything. Like I can get about a couple of minutes and then my brain wanders off and I'm sitting panicking myself to death. I'd, I've decided that I have vape juice coming tomorrow. It doesn't have any nicotine in it, so I'll be giving up like all nicotine, caffeine, sugar, because these things are not going to help any, and especially if surgery is on the cards. Again, I don't have a treatment plan yet. They need to see how aggressive the cancer is, whether it's spread. They just don't know any of these things. They can't give me any answers at the minute. They just know it's cancer because of the cells that they took from the needle they put into my armpit, into my lymph nodes. So they know it's there. Um, I just I need to eat really healthy stuff. I need to give my body the best chance it possibly can. I don't need to worry about fucking losing weight because the chemotherapy is going to take that off me straight away because it's apparently a nightmare. Like, it will make you very sick and you'll drop a lot of weight from that. So the more weight I have on me, the better for me in the long run. I have always been somebody that has been deathly frightened of general anesthetics because I've always the fear that I'll not wake up. But it's funny how quick your mind changes whenever, if you don't have a surgery, that you're gonna die. Again, I don't know anything about my treatment plan, anything like that. It's just a waiting game. It could be 7 to 10 days, so I'll find out some point next week. They said none of this is going to be done through letters. Everything will be phone calls. They'll phone me to get me in as quick as possible because obviously it's spread. It's in my lymph nodes. I'm just hoping to God it's spread. It's beginning to spread from my boob out rather than it having already spread through me, and that's why it's there. I just think that speaking and making these videos, if there are other people out there that are dealing with the same kind of stuff and they feel like they're not coping and everyone's doing so much better, then I think it's important to let them see that I'm not doing well and it's totally normal for you not to do well whenever you hear this kind of stuff. And I know that everybody says to stay positive, but it's just such a different thing whenever this is happening to you. Your mind immediately goes to the worst. And I'm trying my best to try and think positive, but you just can't. It's just not the way your brain works whenever this kind of stuff happens. I need to pull myself together badly because I know that I haven't exactly been a fucking pillar of strength. All I've done is cry. My GP told me that anything that I need or want to let them know. So I'm gonna see how I am whenever this course of diazepam runs out, and see whether I'm in a better mental state to like face stuff. And if I'm not, then I'm not gonna force myself to. Um, I just I hate the fact that everybody in like my family is like shattered by this. And I'm not saying this for sympathy, but it does feel like my fault. Because the reason that they're also worried is because of me. Fuck. I was talking to Chris earlier, and it feels like the last 2 days have like been a dream. I keep thinking about whenever the doctor and the Macmillan nurse, who I didn't know was a Macmillan nurse at the time, were calling us into that room and them telling me, and it doesn't feel like I was there. It all feels like a really fucking bad dream. It's just so hard to describe. I think if it just had been in my boob, then it just it would have made things enough. That would still have been terrifying, but it would have made things so much easier. It's the fact that it's in lymph nodes. It's just horrifying. But again, thank you to everyone that's took time out of their day to message me. And I know I've been like crappy with responding and stuff like that. It's hard to pull your brain together enough to hold conversations. It's just really, really difficult at the minute. Um, and it all feels like such a waiting game. I had to wait 5 weeks on getting this appointment, and I know it's just standard procedure. They need to send off these biopsies to pathology to get answers. It just feels like every day is dragging and dragging and dragging, and I just want to know. And then if the fear of also knowing, because what happens if it comes back really bad news? And I know I'm not meant to think like that. And don't worry about things until you've something to worry about, but that's not how your brain works in these situations. But I do appreciate all the love and good vibes that everyone's been sending. And I'm just gonna do these wee daily chats, put them all together, post them at the end of the week, every week, and hopefully things will get better. I'll feel more positive. It'll not be more bad news. that it's treatable and something can be done. I just don't want worst case scenarios because I literally feel like I will lose my mind. And I don't say that lightly. I've never, like, I've suffered from depression and stuff in the past, but I've never felt the way that I do now. It's almost like I just want to escape my own body. I wish we were at a point in technology where I could just have a brain transplant into someone else's body and I didn't have to deal with this bullshit. I'm in pain because of the, like, cut open my boob and stuck their whatever device in that was noisy as hell and took chunks out of the inside of my boob, obviously for biopsies. And it's sore, I can't like really move my arms about too much, and I've downtime. They like give me an aftercare sheet and they give me this breast cancer booklet to read that I just cannot face at the minute. I really, really want to like research diets and stuff like that and anything holistic that I can do, but I'm scared to in case anything pops up that I don't want to see. They specifically told me not to Google things and I don't want to. I'm already terrified enough. I don't need an extra layer of terror on top of everything fucking else. But yeah, so that's how Wednesday's going so far. Um, I'm not crying as much as I have been the last 2 days. I am crying. It's on and off. It's just numbness in like numbness and indifference and just I don't think anything's properly hit me yet. I think it is all shock. Everything every day feels like a dream, like I'm just like floating through it. It's just a lot, you know. Like I don't whenever I say this, don't get me wrong, but whenever you're young, you don't expect to be going through this. This is something that happens to older people. I just please send, if you pray for me, please pray for me, and if you don't believe in God, then just send good vibes my way. That's all I need. But I'm gonna wrap this up here for today, and hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. I just feel like what I want to do is go out and actually enjoy life at the minute, and I can't. The Macmillan nurse already told me I can't be anywhere, can't go around shops anywhere where there are people because of germs, and I can't have treatment if there's COVID or of any viruses or anything like that. I need to be fully well before they can do anything, so I'm basically stuck in my house, which was never a problem before. I never used to leave anyway, but whenever you find out that there's something growing inside you that could kill you, you just want to go out and see trees and sun and air and just all the things that you mightn't be that lucky enough to see after a while. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up here for today. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. But again, thank you to everyone who's taken time out to message me. I appreciate it massively. I really, really do. And hopefully I'll talk to you again tomorrow. So today is Thursday the 18th of November. So it's like 3 days after the diagnosis. I put out a post on Facebook just because I don't want to have to. It's not even wanting to have to, it's just I can't message every friend I have individually going over the same thing. It's just easier to tell everybody at once. But I obviously needed to make sure that all of my family knew, because that's not a nice way to find something like this out, is through a Facebook post. So all my family have been made aware, and I suppose everybody knows, um, which is for the best anyway. You know, I feel I'm just in a really, really weird stage at the minute of feeling nothing at all and everything at the same time. It's so hard to explain. It's like you're very, very numb, but then everything hits you and it's all at once. So you're fine 1 minute and then you're just a wreck the next. It's the not knowing. Like I felt this way anyway whenever I first went to the doctor. The doctor had used sizable mass, red flag and stuff whenever they were making the appointment for me to go to the breast clinic. That's why I went really flaky with twitching when I sort of disappeared for a couple of weeks, is because I wasn't dealing with stuff very well then. And it's the not knowing, and I thought, well, at least whenever I get this appointment at the breast clinic, I'm gonna know one way or another. And I do know one way or another, but there's still so many questions. Obviously, I would have preferred, that it had been like something silly and not actually fucking cancer, but um, I've received at this point hundreds of messages from you guys, friends, family, everybody, and it is really, really, really helpful to know that people think about who are thinking about you, and there are other people that have been through similar, but no one can answer the questions that I have. The doctors can't even. They need to wait until they find out the results of these biopsies. So I'm stuck in this limbo as well, just from that. I'm hurting quite a bit as well, like where the incision and stuff was. And last night, obviously, like they give me like fresh dressings to bring home, and like paper stitches and stuff as well, in case, I don't know, in case it splits or whatever. And the first night of taking the dressing off, it was totally fine, didn't feel anything. And last night, whenever I was taking the dressing off to put a new one on, it felt like something inside me had ripped open. I was nearly in tears with the pain. My boob is, well, last night it was like green and purple spots from the bruising and stuff. I would show pictures of this, but I don't think you're really allowed to do that on YouTube. And I don't even know if people would want to see that kind of thing anyway. But you can just see where they've sliced me open, where it's been stitched up, all the bruising. But it's just, last night was very painful taking the dressing off, and whenever I had this done, they told me that I would need to keep a bra and sleep in a bra for like 3 days after to give the wound and stuff, obviously in the inside of my boob where they've had to like bore in, because this lump was behind my nipple, but they went, which is here, and they went in from over here and went like through. um so obviously inside of me's pretty cut up. I needed to like sleep with a bra and stuff for 3 days, 3 nights. And as tiny as this is gonna sound, considering like the enormity of the situation, I can't wait to not have to sleep with a bra on, because it's cutting the actual rib cage off me round my sides. Any girl will tell you that if you've went on a bit of a mad night out and come home and just went to sleep the next day, you're quite sore from things digging in. I'm also quite frightened about going to sleep and not having it on in case something opens up. Um, I'm not how I was on Monday. Monday, I cried the entire day. I've never in my life cried for that length of time. Like, I mean, non stop crying the entire day, right up into the night. Every day I'm crying a wee bit less, but every day I think shock's setting in more. And every day feels like a dream. None of it feels real. Like, even just thinking back to Monday, and whenever we were called in to that room, obviously to give the diagnosis and stuff, thinking back to that, it doesn't even feel like that was me. It feels. I tried to explain to Chris, but I think he feels the same anyway. Do you ever have like a memory in your head, but you're not too sure if it's a real memory or if it's something that you dreamt up? Well, that's how this feels right now. Every day, whenever I wake up, I'm just like, just for that split second, it was only a dream. And then you realize it's definitely not only a dream. Everyone, like, I appreciate everybody's messages and everyone saying how strong I am and stuff, but I really don't feel strong at all. I don't know how anybody. Obviously, I haven't like lived in the shoes of someone that's been diagnosed with this before, and you don't see what goes on behind closed doors and everything. But I don't know how people are strong whenever they hear this. I'd like all. I just had all these plans and goals set, and they just seem to be gone now. I thought yesterday as well. I'd said to Chris, we were sitting on the sofa. Um, you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do my hair, and then maybe the day after that I'll put some makeup on, and then I'll try and stream. And whenever I got up this morning, I didn't even want to get out of bed. I know that the best thing for me to do at the minute is to like set small goals for every day, but I just can't even face the smallest of things at the minute. And it's not depression setting in. That's I know what depression's like. I've suffered with really severe depression before. I've never experienced anything like this before. Just nothing and everything at once. Like no emotion and every emotion all at the same time. And I know in my head that I'm gonna have to pull myself together at some point here and be strong, because otherwise I may as well just lay down and die right now. I keep thinking, I just keep flip flopping between maybe, well, there's no maybe in it, it is breast cancer. But maybe it started to spread and we've got it in time to. Hold on a minute, you felt this lump in 2019, you stupid bitch. It's breast cancer and it's probably spread through you. And then on the other hand, I'm like, but I don't feel like I'm dying. I don't feel really unwell. And then on the other hand is, but how do you know what well feels like? Because you have a stomach condition anyway, so you haven't felt normal in years. Chris said to me as well, and he's totally right, that if I'm gonna make these videos and keep like a diary of all this, write down talking points, and I don't want to do that. That's why there's so many breaks. I haven't got the mental capability at the minute of even writing stuff down. I try to watch stuff, like I think I said this yesterday, we tried to watch a movie and I can't concentrate on it. I tried to play, like, I done 2 killer games yesterday because I'm like, this Dead by Daylight always takes your mind off it, and the people afterwards were just so fucking nasty. I don't know where to put myself. I don't know what to do with myself. Doesn't matter what I do. It's like a constant sense of like restlessness. I can't sit down. I should really get up and do something. I can't really do anything because I'm fucking sore. I have downtime off after this operation. Chris has been fucking amazing. I don't think, like, the amount of tea we have drank in this house, we've been through an entire fucking box of tea in 2 days because I think it ran out yesterday. Weird that whenever you get bad news, you always, like, I'm a coffee drinker, but you always go and drink your tea. All of it. So much so that your blood must also be, like, almost be tea at that stage. Um, it's just so hard to get thoughts out whenever you can't even organize your own brain. Every like ache and pain in my body now is getting blamed on cancer. I'm like, well, could it have spread there? It just, I've asked a million times, and I'll not stop asking. But if you believe in God, please, please, please pray for me. And if you don't believe in God, then just send as many positive vibes my way as you possibly can, because I really, really need it at the minute. Again, all of the messages and everything like that it's been lovely. Just to know people care. I just feel like any time, and this isn't a pity party, I'm not meaning it to sound that way. Chris can actually testify to this. At any time my life good stuff happens, there's always something waiting around the corner to fuck it up. I feel like I just found streaming and met so many friends and found like the path I wanted to take in my life. And then it's like life went, well, are you enjoying yourself too much? Wait till you see what we've got for you now. I'm also glad that I was such a skinflint because I can remember needing a box of tissues on Amazon. It was like £1 a box of tissues, but £3.99 for delivery. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah, I can buy a 12 box of tissues and get it for £12. I'll have those. And God, I've needed them. The tissue consumption in this house is ridiculous at the minute. Again, I'm gonna do these videos every day. Put them out on a Sunday for the week, because hopefully it'll help. I don't want to talk too much to Chris or my daughter or anyone, because I know that they're dealing with this as well, and they don't need to see me falling apart. It'll just make it worse for them. I just keep thinking that, like, just over 3 years ago, we watched Chris's dad die of cancer. And now he's still grieving his dad and he's having to go through this with his wife, and it just seems so unfair. Right, well. That's it for today. I will make another one of these videos, and hopefully every day I make one, I get to hold it together a wee bit better than I did the day before, because that's what I need to aim for at the minute. So if I can hold it together a tiny bit more day by day, then that's something. You know? But I'm gonna go, because I'm feeling myself starting to get really gurney again, and I'm such an ugly crier. But I will catch everybody tomorrow. So today is Saturday the 20th of November, and I had to get up really early today. I'd spoke to my Macmillan nurse, Martina. I had to go and get my second COVID injection, but whenever it was booked the last time, we couldn't have them done because it had to be a certain amount of time after you'd had COVID before you could get the injection. I had to speak to her because I didn't know whether you had it or if you got it, whether there was like downtime afterwards before you could have any cancer treatment. And she said no. If I if it's chemo, then they would want it anyway. Um, if it was surgery, it was slightly different, but she didn't go into any of the details, so I had to get up first thing and be over at the hospital for, I think they started taking people at 8:30, but we got there at 8. Um, I thought it was all right today, and then I, I don't know what happened whenever I got home. It's probably the lack of nicotine and everything like that. I ended up a bit gurney again, and I ended up going and buying cigarettes. And as I walked home from the shop, I just cried and cried and cried. Because I really don't, I just don't know what end of me is up at the minute. I just, that's been my coping mechanism, and I haven't been coping. But I have, what I'm doing is I bought cigarettes, worst thing in the world for me. I'm smoking this packet of cigarettes, then I'm weaning myself down. I've put like a mil of nicotine into a 100 ml bottle of juice, and I'm gonna wean myself off because the minute I can't, the stress, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack or like a complete and utter mental breakdown. I don't know how people act so strong and everything whenever they get this news. Because all I've done is cry. And it's not feeling sorry for myself, it's like shock and disbelief, and it just really, really hard to explain. I didn't bother making a video yesterday because I was only really out of bed for about an hour and a half in all yesterday. I'm gonna need to phone the doctor again on Monday morning because I've only got like 6 diazepam left, and they're what are keeping me all right whenever I'm taking them. When I'm not, I'm just crying. And I feel like such a fucking wimp. I feel like such a massive wimp. I just, again, it's all the not knowing. And I know like a week or two to most people doesn't seem like that long a time, but it's a fucking eternity whenever you're finding out about like whether what your chances of survival are. It feels like forever. You know, like I used to watch these shows, with Chris about people on death row and stuff, and I always used to think, you know, that's the only real luxury any of us get in life is not knowing whenever you're going to die. And obviously, I still don't know whenever I'm gonna die, but it seems a hell of a lot fucking sooner than I was planning. Like, there are all these things that I'd planned and I'd wanted to do. Like, we wanted to, well, we were hoping to buy a house soon. I've always wanted to go to New York. It's one place I've always wanted to see, and that might never happen either. Seeing my daughter grow up and get married, and just so many things I wanted to do in life, and it just feels like now they could just be dreams that never happen. I feel like I just feel like at this point I'm never gonna stop crying. And I feel like it's never gonna get any better. And I've already said a million times, I don't care how horrible whatever treatment that I'm offered is, I don't care if they cut both my boobs off. I don't care if I lose all my hair. I don't care if I'm constantly vomiting because of chemotherapy. I don't care. As long as I don't have to die. So hard to try and put into words the way that you feel. I know that at this point, like, every video I've made is basically saying the exact same thing. But I'm just hoping with time it'll get better and I'll have more to say. And whenever these appointments and stuff come up, that it's just good news. Even though it mightn't be. I'm really, really hoping for good news. But I'm really, really thinking the worst at the same time. I did actually manage to wash my hair yesterday, so that was like one thing that I done. Today I went and got my second COVID injection. But there was so many people there, I had to ask the nurse, could I just go and wait in the car? Because Macmillan nurse told me not to be around groups of people. And then I had to obviously tell her why. And she said that she would be praying for me. It's hard to get the words out. It's hard even to say. They're really nice anyway and put me into like a room with just me and Chris so that I didn't have to be waiting with a whole load of other people. It just feels like there's been a big full stop put in your life. That everything now revolves around this and whether you're gonna live or die. And I just have such a bad gut feeling that it's not gonna be good news. And if it's not, then I don't actually think I'm emotionally and mentally stable enough to be able to take any more bad news at the minute. Like, I'm not holding it together now. Like, I know cancer diagnosis is never a good thing, but if it was just in my boob, yes, you'd be terrified and concerned, but it's just the fact that it's already spread into lymph nodes, and if that's the case, could it have spread everywhere? I'm praying and hoping to God that it's just in the process of spreading. I'm gonna need to get the money together. It's like, I think it's about 350 quid to get my daughter tested for the BRCA gene to find out whether there's a chance that she could end up having this, because she needs to know, I need to know that I haven't like passed on this fucking death sentence. I know that probably seems a bit dramatic, but whenever you're going through it, that's exactly what it feels like. I have all these pains in my back and pains running down my leg, and I keep thinking, could this all has to be connected in some way? Could this have spread into like into my spine, or has it worked its way already through me? And there's so many people that have been so helpful, that have been through the same thing, that tell me to ask them questions. But again, the questions I have, no one can answer. The doctors can't even answer at the minute. But hopefully these biopsy results come back sooner rather than later. That's what I'm hoping. I just need to keep my phone on me at all times, because they don't do anything by letters. They do everything by phone to make sure that I'm in as quick as possible. And I know as well, all like the intensive care beds at the minute are filled up with COVID patients. People that are not taking fucking COVID seriously, or won't get their injections because, you know, there might be fucking microchips or something in it, which is the biggest load of bollocks. Which means people like me who are going to need urgent fucking treatment, surgery, could have to wait because of it. Right, well, I think that's enough for today, hopefully. I'll put this week's videos up tomorrow. It's Saturday today. And then every Sunday I'll put them up, and hopefully whenever I make the next video, whether it be tomorrow or Monday, I feel even just a wee bit more better in myself, because I don't know. Just don't know. I don't know. I don't know at all. Alright, that will do for Monday. And hopefully I will be talking to you with a wee bit more positivity the next time. But if I don't have it, please excuse me. It's just a lot right now. But it's also helping to do this, even though it feels like I'm repeating myself a million times. Just very thin on fucking original thought at the minute. It's all fucking very much centered around all of this bollocks. But please keep praying for me. Please keep sending positive vibes. I need them. I really, really need them. And I'll talk to you guys hopefully soon.